Hi, my name is Walker Ogle and I'm a freshman here at Tech. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to catch a largemouth bass. Now, there are three main steps when it comes to catching these elusive fish. The first being your equipment, which includes your rods and your lures. The second is your location and the time of year. And lastly is the approach and technique, which is a combination of the two prior steps. Now, first things first is your equipment. With equipment, the best two rods are a spinning rod, and a bait caster. Now, Huck Fishing brand, a very well-known brand, stated, spinners are particularly useful when using lighter baits, such as live bait or soft plastics. And on the other hand, when using bait casters, they're used for more experienced anglers. They have your heavier lures. Now, speaking of lures, the main lures are spoons, jigs, crankbaits, spinners, soft plastics, and live bait. For beginners, the best type of lure to use is a soft plastic or a worm or a lizard, like this. Now, moving on to the second step you'll want to do. This is your location and your time of year. Now, the best two seasons are spring and fall. However, you still can catch bass in the summer and winter. It's just your chances go down. In the spring, you'll want to fish in the shallow water. Tom Reddington of fishingboyslife.org stated, the best time to fish or best area to fish is in areas with cover, like stumps. Just avoid barren area. The fish need some sort of security blanket or protection. In the fall, on the other hand, it's best to fish in deep water. This is because the water is hot and has less oxygen at the top, so they go deeper into the colder water. Also, shad, live bait fish, they tend to go deeper, so the bass follow their prey. Now, when it comes to weather, a lot of people think that it needs to be overcast or sunny. Now, this isn't the case. In reality, bass are looking for stability. This basically means they need a consistent weather pattern. If it rains for 3 days straight, that's a good thing because that's consistency. If it's overcast for 3 days, that's a good thing. As long as there's consistent weather pattern, it is the best chances to catch a bass. Now, when it comes to the time of day, in the morning, it is best to fish from dawn until 8 to 8:30, but you can catch after that. Your chances just go down. And in the evening, it's best to fish from 5:30 to dusk. Now, when it comes to the last step, this is approach and timing. And with timing, it kind of means technique. Now, in the fall, obviously you'll want to use lures like soft plastics and go into the deep water. Now, the brand Berkeley stated, the best place to start looking for ledges is sloping rock banks. You'll want to fish towards the rock banks or cliffs. And when you cast, you'll allow the jig or your soft plastic worm to go to the bottom. After that, you'll bounce it up and down, simulating a worm struggling in the water until it comes back to the boat. On the other hand, in the spring, you're fishing in shallow water. A writer from LuckyTackleBox.com stated, cast underhand or sidearm, pulling back just as the lure hits the water. This is to reduce the splash. You'll use a topwater bait. Now, this is to not startle the fish. You don't want to scare them away. It'll simulate a fish that is struggling on the top of the water, which allows for the bass to get its attention. This is combining the two techniques of the two steps of your rods and your lures and the timing and location to perfect a technique. It gives you the best available way to catch a bass. In summary, your three steps is the first is prioritize lures. Without the right type of lures, you'll be fishing for the wrong fish and may catch an unintended fish. The second is your location and your timing, your time of year. Now, this is to best optimize your chance of catching a largemouth bass. And lastly is your approach and your technique. And this is combining the first two steps of using a worm in the fall in deep water or using a topwater bait in the spring. With that being said, my name is Walker Ogle, and thank you for listening. I hope you have a great rest of the day.